Welcome back to AI for All. This is our new podcast series named The Pioneers. In today's episode, which is episode 1, I will not just be giving the latest AI news, but we are going behind the scenes of how AI is transforming the world of retail. And to help us do that, I've got a special guest, my friend and AI guru, Ashwin Tambe. Ashwin, welcome to the show. For those who don't know Ashwin is a delivery executive at Google, specializing in the retail sector. He's one of the pioneers of retail search using generative AI. He has helped some of the biggest companies on the planet harness the power of AI. He has authored multiple articles on esteemed technical journals on the topic of retail search. He is also the winner of Professional of the Year Award 2023, given by All India Business Community Foundation. He has an MBA from University of Arizona Phoenix. He lives in Dallas, as I am. He is one of my favorite persons to chat about technology, and we share a bond in discussing about technology all the time. And I always enjoy doing that. Ashwin, it's awesome to have you here.
Thank you, Selva. It's great to connect with you on this kind of a platform and always happy to chat with you on anything. And of course, the topic today.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man. Hey, how are you holding up with the weather? It's been snowing and freezing here in Dallas. I hope you guys are staying warm.
Yeah, it's actually been a good change. My kid and I, we actually do love snow, and our neighbors came from Boston, so the snow followed them from Boston to Dallas. But it has been good. It's been good 2 days. We've been actually going snow sledding and tubing with the kids all from the community.
Oh, wow.
And I did a few runs myself, so yeah, it was really fun.
All right, let's get into the topic then. So now, I know you and we geek out about technology all the time, right? But for our viewers who might be new to this, can you give us a quick rundown of like what keeps you up at night when you think of technology and AI and the retail industry?
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's an interesting question. What keeps me up at night? Thank you for introducing me and what I do here in Google. A part of my response is going to be engaging the audience in also explaining that a little bit more. And that's what keeps me up at night because as a part of my job duties, I'm a very customer centric, customer focused individual. And my job, even in Google, is to enhance customer experiences for our customers as they adopt the cloud journey and as they adopt more and more of the AI and go the path of transformation of their own businesses and processes, right? So essentially what really keeps me up is how can my customer better utilize the products that I'm giving them, better utilize the technology that we have professed about, and how can they take leaps and bounds into the future of using the technology to innovate further. I think that is critical because you can always have any technology come to the forefront, but how you use it is very important. So can I unlock their brainchild? Can I unlock facets of areas where they've not thought about, which could enhance their productivity, which could increase their revenue? And at the end of the day, my customer also has a customer base. So in the retail world, customers are like you and me who are buying, shopping, probably just viewing products online or even going to brick and mortar stores. So how can that customer experience be enhanced using technology? So that's where my brain keeps ticking. And I think that's how I like to also engage with my customers.
That's fantastic. I'm sure your customers find a lot of value in this, right? Especially you take the Google services and you come with the Google all the technology and support that Google arms you with. So I'm sure it's a fantastic experience for the customers as well. Now, it's a great segue into the next topic I wanted to talk about. You talked about thinking about some of the problems your customers might have or challenges they might have. Maybe our audience would love to know what your approach is to solving problems.
Mhm.
Like if you can walk through some of the biggest challenges in the retail industry and how you are thinking about solving them through AI That would be fantastic.
Sure, great question and very relevant for the world that we are living in. I think you have a two-part question. How would you go about solving a problem, and how best can the retail customers benefit? Even also using AI as one of the methods of solving problems, right? So let me just go very basic before we get into AI, generative AI, any kind of technology. So the simplistic way of probably solving a problem is to not make it very complex, because you're here to drive a solution, right? So look at problem for what it is, for its face value, dissect it into understanding what the problem, where it is stemming from. Is there a background to because of which there is a problem has arisen, or is it a situation that you're trying to solve for the future? Either case, you need to have a strong understanding of the background and the stakeholders who are involved in the solution that you're either going to drive or propose, right? What is the benefit, what's in it for you if the problem is solved? I think majority of the problem is solved if you unlock what's in it for you, so that you approach it with the right methods and you drive the desired outcomes. Otherwise, you're going to go down a path which is not going to be useful. So these are the three, I think, two, three very basic things that I look at when any situation arises. And then, of course, go a bit more methodical in breaking down the problem into probably micro steps. Okay, right? And then defining how do I solve for each of those steps. If I can solve for each step, if I can take baby steps and do incremental upgrades, incremental progresses on every single element which has troubled me and has caused the problem, eventually 1 plus 1 will make 2 plus 1 equal to 3, and I would have unlocked a potential solution. And then comes, of course, the final thing, which is, if you have unlocked the solution, how do you execute on it? You need the support of the right people, you need the right resources, whether it's technology, whether it's manpower, whether it's political capital, or even financial muscle. So if you have and gather the required resources, put them to the right use, and communicate effectively of what the outcome is going to be and when it's going to be achievable, you explored a way of success. That's how I look at problem solving.
That sounds like a lot of, this what you just said reminds me of one of the, I don't know if it's a quote or a story about Albert Einstein. He said, if I'm given 1 minute and you ask me to solve a really complex problem, how would you go about it? I think he said something to this effect: I will spend 55 seconds thinking about what question to ask, and then I'll have the answer in the rest of the 5 seconds. I don't know if it was a minute or an hour, but you understand. So I think from what you said, it looks like there is a lot of asking questions
Yep.
and breaking down problems and figuring out different incentives and motives of different players with whom you collaborate, right? So that's
Yep.
awesome. Are there any specific problems that you have in the retail industry that kind of is a sticky point in the industry that you want to talk about, like any solution tools that you have worked on that might actually give some perspective on what kind of solutions you guys come up with as specialists in this area?
Mhm. I think we are living in a world of extreme choices right now. There is abundance of everything. Yes, there is going to be scarcity of everything basic. This
Hmm.
is not trying to take a pessimistic view, but a very realistic approach to how the world is shaping. There is too much of all, yet we know that's going to diminish, right? And it's, I call it the death of power by choice, power of choices. There is so many to choose from, but what is it right for you and what is it that you want? And I'm again, I'll tie all this together. This begins with a consumer like you and me. I walk into the store, I have 1,500 choices of breads and 1,500 milks and 25 other chip packets and whatnot to choose from. Any standard retailer or a grocer. And our retail industry is vast. It involves everything from a grocery store to auto car parts and whatnot. But again, the death by choices comes by everybody is offering so many things. What is the best for me? And time is value and value is money, right? So if I go into the store and spend 4 hours and not know what I want, That's a problem for my own productivity and effectivity in life. So how can we make Ashwin or Selva or anybody like you and me more effective, more proficient in terms of the right choices in the store, in terms of the economy that one needs to attain when they go into the store, and does the product that they buy really help him or her or their family, right? So personalization is a concept, I think, which is coming to the forefront a lot, specifically in the retail industry, where there is a lot of focus on how can what we sell as a retailer be personalized to you as a customer. It's a very interesting concept, because I want to sell as a retailer, I would want to sell everything in my store, but I want to personalize that selling experience to you as a person who's coming to me, so that one, the value that I'm selling is high. Second, I am selling something to you for sure, so that helps my revenue as a retailer. And third, I have ingrained in you the value of purchase, so that I have a repeat customer in you and a long term relationship, right? So now let's take this concept, and how can technology be used to use this? If personalization is so important in the world of AI, which really deals with a lot of mathematical modeling and lot of algorithms and is heavily dependent on the data, what retailers are really trying to unlock is how can they use the data that they get from the purchases, from the point of sale, from the kind of products, from the inventory on the shelves that they carry, and create these experiences of buy it again behaviors or personalized recommendations, or even giving recommendations of products which they have not purchased, right? This is happening all across the board. Like if you look at Netflix, for example, if you log into Netflix, you watch a particular genre of movie, a couple days later it will start producing same genre of movies. Now it may or may not fit your bill, but at least the models are learning, and all retailers are trying to do the same thing. And that is, I think, the biggest challenge right now. Reason being, nobody wants their data to be out there in the open. There is personalized information at risk. Coming back to your question, what is the biggest challenge that retailers are having today is how to prevent data leaks, how to enable the models to think and provide personalized recommendations n- without the expense of someone's personal information being jeopardized. So this is key. The best way is to secure data, best way is to anonymize data, the best way is to normalize data before models from any company that are out there are actually put into use. And then train it enough and test it enough using patterns of data which produce repeatable results. You don't want to launch something which gives Selva something which he doesn't like and Ashwin something which Selva likes. You want to personalize for that person without jeopardizing that person's data. So that's, I think, the biggest problem that everybody's trying to solve. Does that kind of answer your question here?
Yeah, I think as you were speaking, it's one thing when we say theoretically we want to personalize and, do certain things, but I think it's a different thing when we learn about how that technology is actually put in place. I think maybe we should do a separate episode on potentially you kind of walk through how technologically, which is more like, targeted to architects and engineers who might benefit from this. Let's plan for that. That's a great insight about the industry. And you know what? When I think about personalization, I also always think about maybe Amazon, which is basically a website, right? I know you work with more retailers that have physical stores, right? So it would be quite interesting to see how this industry is evolving and addressing these kind of personalization challenges in that. Anyway, I appreciate the response. We have a lot of student audience and aspirants of AI looking to make an impact with AI. So, what is your advice to them if they want to be successful in the AI world? You can also add about retail industry since you specialize in that.
Do a lot of Java coding, Python programming. No, I am messing with everybody here. I think AI is a phenomena which, firstly, I think AI is a phenomena that everybody should embrace. There is no escape. It's here to live with everybody. It's here to take us forward. And we need to operate with the notion that we built AI, so let's use it to build new things which benefit us, benefit mankind. I think if that notion is set for everybody who's coming to the realm, they will start using it to the benefit and using it for a social benefit, not just for a personal benefit. I think one needs to, I really need to say this because I've seen people misusing it. I fear people will misuse this for personal gains, and that's never the good thing to do. But coming to what you just said, look, AI does depend very strongly on data, does very strongly depend on mathematics and a little bit of programming. So, is it important to really have very good mathematical skills? Probably not, but you should have a decent foundation if you're starting. And again, let's classify what you really want to do in AI. Do you want to be a core engineer who's developing models? Do you want to be a person who is using AI, or do you want to be like a technology evangelist who is helping customers consume AI, right? So there are a variety of roles and depends on what you really want to do. But I think at the base, you need to have some sort of foundation of a little bit of mathematics, a little bit of how the systems work, and a little bit knowledge about how data is, right? So a foundational kind of knowledge is necessary. But I think at the offset, the biggest thing that one needs to focus on is the curiosity across different domains, not just probably retail, because I'm in retail, but different domains, different situations. AI, if you look at it, is now not only restricted to data driven efficiencies or repetitive model development, it's everywhere. It's in healthcare, it's in manufacturing, it's in banking to do fraud detection and anti money laundering. It's retail, as we spoke about. It is there in marketing and even supply chain operations. So it's spreading across everywhere, right? So if you keep a curious mind to understand and unlock different problems and situations. So you could be a designer, you really are good at art, you want to be an interior designer, right? So maybe that's your passion, but you need to find problems in the interior design world and situations where you want to enhance experiences for other people. Keep a curious mind and then use the technical aspects such as understanding a bit of data, understanding a bit of mathematics on the periphery, but at the main core, understand the tenets of the problem that you're trying to solve, maybe understand the technical concepts of interior design better, and then infuse the two to come out with a better solution. So again, it depends really where you want to go with it. But for students, I would focus definitely again, get your basics right and keep yourself very curious, because we are just about scratching the surface, is what I feel.
Awesome. Hey, there is another question that I often get asked when I talk to students. Um, are certifications worth it? What is your take? What's your take on that?
So I feel for me, I can speak for myself and I'll then kind of generalize. With my time being so restricted, I feel sometimes certifications give me a structure to understand and methodically grasp a few concepts. But it again varies. Some people don't like to get into that structured pattern. But if you are in some sort of a profession already, or if you are a student who's really trying to pursue this, I feel certifications will help because it give you a structured path of a coursework, labs and concepts which you can do, unlock and work on your own, get some hands-on experiences with some sort of simulated environments. Now, will that certificate only get you somewhere? Probably no. You really need to ground yourself with concepts and keep applying them. But in short answer, I think they give some structure to learning.
Got it. And what would be your advice for someone who is not in AI but has good amount of professional experience trying to get into a company that operates with AI as a backbone, like such as Google or Nvidia, Meta? What would be your suggestion? How should they go about it?
Pass the certification. No, okay.
Good one.
No, but I think firstly, you definitely need to have some sort of foundational concepts clear. If you're coming in, it depends really on the role that you're trying to play. This is an interesting question, though. If I was to come into a company which is so strong in AI, and how would I approach this? I would approach this with the fact that what do I bring to the table? If I have some transferable skills, am I able to learn the concepts of AI? Am I able to understand the problems that AI is trying to solve? And am I able to understand the deficiencies that AI is dealing with today and come prepared with at least that kind of mindset to give responses? I think I would feel much more confident. Do I need to? I oftentimes got asked, do I need to be able to code or be a machine learning engineer? Do I need to be a data engineer? If you're trying to be an AI engineer who is getting into modeling or creating the models, you probably still need to have that concepts. You probably need to have the hands-on experience. You should be versed with statistics. How does linear regression work? How does calculus work? Those concepts are very, very important. So a person who's going to develop a model will probably need that. But a person who is implementing the model may not need that. He needs to probably understand the more business side of things and then use these concepts to apply and solve the business situation. So that's how I take it.
Finally, any closing thoughts? What excites you about the industry and AI for 2025? What are you looking forward to?
I think this is going to be, like I said, this is probably just scratching the surface. The AI buzz has boomed through the roof for the last 2 years, and it's really going to pick up in all different shapes and forms. We've seen it percolate in different industries. The one thing that I'm very, I think it's a very creative realm and a domain for all of us. My wife says she's very creative with art and she thinks creative people are artists. I feel AI is going to bring the artist on everyone out to the surface. It's going to start making you think differently. So I think that is a very exciting fact for the way we are going with 2025. The one thing that I would like to see is making AI more responsible. There are still a lot of cases and nuances where it is not giving the reality, probably giving a delusional response. So, how do we really, really nail that piece down? That is the key as
It's a
we
good
go.
point. Yeah. Certainly, I do think that in 2025, as we start talking about AGI, artificial general intelligence, I think there is going to be push for some kind of standards and boundaries around, like, how AI
Mhm.
should be designed and used. I think that's going to be a key thing here. Yeah,
See, I
that's
used to work in the financial sector a while ago, and we used to develop models for fraud detection or structuring, where you do structured payments and you create money laundering effects, which money is used in the wrong way. The thing that is concerning and the most interest to me in that field domain right now, because we deal with money every day and everything is digital. Will AI fight AI? Will there be a fraudulent AI and a good AI fighting each other? And we should not allow the fraudulent AI to even come to existence. So I would like, for those who are getting
I
into
think
this area,
that's possible.
I think that is very much possible for all. And in fact, that's why I would like to leave your student audience thinking that all those who are trying to get into the AI world, you need to start thinking how you can be the best police of yourself and best police of AI itself, because there are people who are going to start developing bad AI and fraudulent AI.
Agree. Interesting thought. Ashwin, thank you for being here. It's always so much fun talking to you. I really appreciate you taking this time off your busy schedule to talk to my subscribers and the audience. I hope to see you again on my channel. Once again, thank you.
No, absolutely. My pleasure. It was fun as usual.
Thank you.